Okay, first graders, we are going to do some art to go along with our science today. So we have in our packet for art for this quarter, you should have just a plain piece of printer paper, just a plain white piece of paper. There's a couple different ones in there. This one's not connected to anything. It's just a piece of paper by itself, and you have a big one, white one that's not connected to anything, and you have a little bit smaller one. This is the smaller one, okay? And then you will need, let me show you. So I have my white paper, and then I have brown, purple, red, green, yellow. I have my watercolors and my paintbrushes inside. And then I have my paper towel or a napkin or something, and then my little cup of water. Okay, so I have everything I need for this little project. So we have talked about the different parts of a plant this week. Okay, that's been a big part of our focus. And so we are going to do an art project that goes along with that. So the first thing I want you to do is with your brown, we're going to draw almost in the middle of, just about in the middle of your paper, maybe a little bit below middle. You're going to draw just a little wavy line going across. This is like the ground. Okay. And then you're going to come down from that right in the middle. We're going to come down and we're going to show the part of the plant that is underground. What part of the plant is underground? The roots, that's right. Okay, so I have those down there. Notice I just have some squiggly lines going on. And I am going to draw a line and label this part. Roots. And I'm using purple to label. Okay, so I have my roots. R-O-O-T-S. Okay, the next part I'm going to do is what comes up from the roots. What do we see first? We see the stem. So I'm going to come straight from where I put the roots. I'm going to do a nice straight stem coming up, just like that. Okay. And I'm going to label that the stem. Okay. What grows from the sides of the stem? The leaves. So I'm going to draw a leaf. And I'm going to draw another leaf here. I'm going to color those in. And I'm going to label those leaves. Okay. And then I'm going to come to the top, and before a flower grows, we get a bud. So I'm going to do a circle first, just to remind us of a bud. This is not going to stay a bud though. Okay. So I just colored in a yellow circle at the top of my stem. And then we're going to turn that ball into our flower. Okay. So I'm going to draw my petals. And I'm going to color in my petals as well. Okay, so there I have my roots, my stem, my leaves, and my flower. And I need to label that flower as well. Okay, so there we have the main parts of our plant. And now we're going to finish the picture by using our watercolors. So if we can get out our watercolors, we are going to use brown and blue. Okay, so brown we're going to put down in the ground. So I'm going to get my brown. Get it nice and wet. And I am going to paint down here in the dirt. Okay, I'm going to keep it below that line that I drew. I'm painting all down here with the brown. And notice it's not going completely over where I used my crayons. Okay. So the wax from the crayons protects that part of the paper and lets us still see where we wrote roots and where we drew the picture of the roots. All the way into the corners, all the way to the edges. Okay. There we have that. And then up at the top, we're going to put the sky behind our flower. So for this, we're going to use our blue. And then we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to paint the entire top of it blue. And notice it doesn't cover where we put the crayon. So we can still see our picture coming through. Okay. So I'm actually going to stop that right now and just show you what it looks like when it's done and dry. Okay, because I could keep going, but you see how that's working. And if you have it all, when you let it all dry, there we have it. Okay, we have our picture and we can clearly see where the roots are that we drew. We labeled the roots. We can see our leaves, our stem, and our flower. Okay, so that is the art that we're doing today. So have fun with that and happy learning.